is just from this week. Severe autism can be reversed. Groundbreaking study suggests. Trial with two non-identical twin girls also found symptoms can be reduced to an indistinguishable level. That is actually really cool. That is really, really cool. Severe autism can be reversed and symptoms reduced to an indistinguishable level, scientists have discovered. Pretty much the same line. That's silly. Two non-identical twin girls in the US were found to have a level of autism at 20 months old that required very substantial support. A groundbreaking trial saw their parents and a team of medical experts create a bespoke 2-year program of interventions designed to help the children thrive and flourish as much as possible. Scientists say the program was successful, with both girls undergoing dramatic improvements. That's actually really nice. Apparently, I don't know if it's true or not, maybe just we have more accurate testing nowadays, but it seems that there has been an increase in autism levels in recent times. So this is good news. This is good news. With both girls undergoing dramatic improvements in the severity of their symptoms, I think. I was there. The progress of one of the girls, described only as Twin Peaks, was heralded as a kind of miracle by one of the pediatricians. Twin Peaks scored the 43 out of 180 on the Autism Treatment Evaluation Checklist scale in March 2022, and this was reduced to just 4 by October 2023. That is pretty good. All of the twins' symptoms were reversed to the point of being indistinguishable from children who had never had a history of autism symptoms. Dr. Chris Dedamo, study author from the University of Maryland, told The Telegraph. The students' functions are comparable to those who never had an autism diagnosis. That's pretty nice. The other girl, known as Twin L, she's taking a little bit of an L here, but it's still good, had more severe autism aged 20 months, scoring 76, and this was reduced to 32 a year and a half later, which is still massive. It is still massive. This twin improved dramatically, but not quite as much, said Dr. Adamo. I think the threshold for what makes an autism diagnosis has become too big. They need to make the diagnostic criteria more strict. That could be the case. That could be the case. I don't know too much about it. To be fair, we also have a bunch of people self-diagnosing themselves. We have a bunch of them silly internet tests. They're fun to go around, but at the end of the day, it's just a silly internet test, right? I just do them on stream sometimes because they're funny, but I don't really put too much weight on those. Also, we could mention because I think it could be somewhat relevant, right? The plague that has been TikTok lately. The how do they call them again? They have a name that I always forget. Neurodiverse. Oh, we are all so pressed. We have all those issues, and sure, some people have actual issues, but self-diagnosing yourself on the TikTok, I don't think that is a good idea. I think that could be quite dangerous. Doctors say that all the time. Self-diagnosis, not good. Self-diagnosis, not good at all. That could be the case. That could be the case. Still, this is still a fantastic improvement. Improvement is unlikely to be undone, which is also really cool. The scientists do not use the term cure, but believe the improvements are unlikely to be undone over time. Fantastic. Because autism is a developmental condition, one can safely say that once they have overcome the developmental aspect, I try to speak so fast and I can't, of autism, and return to a typical developmental trajectory, they are very unlikely to exhibit the common symptoms of autism again, said Dr. Diadamo. And this begs the question, right? I think it's really clear, but it still begs the question. If you're an adult and you have autism, I don't think this is going to help you. It'd be cool if it worked, but I don't know. Symptoms that could return might be more along the lines of things like anxiety, gastrointestinal issues, which I find to be kind of unexpected, but apparently there's a relation there. It's pretty cool. Sensory issues, but not necessarily the behavioral aspects of autism. It's still an improvement. The twins underwent behavioral analysis, speech therapy, and a strict gluten-free diet and nutrition program as part of the trial to reduce inflammation. And I think that is really interesting. The diet was casein-free, a protein found in milk, low sugar, had no artificial colors or dyes, zero ultra-processed foods, primarily organic, and locally sourced. The girls were also given daily supplements for omega-3 fatty acids, multivitamins, vitamin D, carnitine, and others. And you have to think, what the hell is going on with food lately? Because this doesn't make any sense. I mean, yes, obviously, everything they mention here is healthier, which makes sense, obviously. Excuse me. But stuff like casein-free, a protein found in milk, which milk is usually really good unless you're lactose intolerant. They mention also gluten-free, which is so surprising. So it's clear that's something wrong with food nowadays. It's also interesting that there are many different approaches that seems to help with ASD, like gut health, stem cell therapy, and some claims with transcranial magnetic stimulation, among others. Yeah, now that you mention it, I remember something about the gut health. Someone mentioned that to me some time ago. It's been a while. But yeah, that appears to be the case. Actually, gut health is extremely important, and people don't understand it. It's really important. And I don't have the graphics on me. They go around on Twitter from time to time, and you see that at least the nutritional value of food has been going down in past decades, like since the 50s. So now, to get the same amount of nutrition, you have to eat much more than before. That explains why people are so fat nowadays. It's not only the sedentary lifestyle, that's also a problem. But if you have low quality food, yeah, that's probably the main issue. And I've seen people that I know getting a lot of food-related problems. It's not unheard sometimes, right? Oh no, I'm lactose intolerant. On your early 20s, that seems weird. On your 30s, that is weird. It's not unheard of, but it's weird. But I've heard of an old lady that's at least in her 70s. She's lactose intolerant now? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. We need to make food great again in some way. I don't know how. That has been a massive problem lately. Also, we could mention they're putting chemicals in the water. That appears to be the case, or it was the case in the US for some time. There's also mentions of they keep giving a bunch of medication to women, and that goes back in the water because, you know, they go number one, and then that just goes and the water treatment. But the water treatment, it's not for that, so it doesn't work. It's a really big problem. This is gonna become, well, it's not gonna become, it's already a big problem, and it's only getting worse. For real, it's so bad. Let's finish this one. A single cure to reverse symptoms. In full renaissance. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I approve of that. And it shows, it really shows when you get something like game meat, right? Stuff that you hand. It's so good. It's so good. It's so tasty. And it feels good to eat it. I still miss eating boar. It's been too many years since last time. A single cure to reverse symptoms. Written in the study, published in the MDPI journal Sexes. That's a sassy name, but sure. The anonymous parents said they knew there would not be a single cure to reverse the symptoms. Instead, the program focused on alleviating the total load on the children. That's fair, they're kids. Despite sharing similar genes and identical conception, gestation, birth experience, and postnatal factors, well, they're twins, it all makes sense, as well as benefiting from consistent nurture, home environment, and family dynamics, each daughter presented an ASD diagnosis entirely unique, I think. Entirely uniquely doesn't make sense to me. They're right. Conventional statistics have stacked the odds against the ability to recover a child from an ASD diagnosis. Our approach was therefore focused on following a non-conventional, holistic understanding of each daughter's individual needs, exploring root cause, and designing customized support. This stuff is always really hard to research, so I get it, I understand. We commit to being highly involved in all the interventions we explored, indicating ourselves, I hate that expression, but it makes sense in this context, and advocating for what we felt was best for our children. Most importantly, our experience as parents has been the desire to create and maintain a profound and loving bond with each of our daughters, and to remain parents, not practitioners. That's fair. With this approach, we have witnessed the radical recovery of one daughter, who presents today as a joyful, engaging, spirit, extremely bright 4-year-old. Tech bros in shambles. I don't know if there are that many women in tech, even if they're autistic. It's just a trope, I guess. We remain steadfast in our support for our other daughter, whose progress has also consistently amazed us and reminded us that recovery is possible at each person's individual pace. Once again, I don't think this would work with adults, but if it does, it's gonna be huge. The case study is published in the Journal of Personalized Medicine. That's pretty nice. We cannot see the comments, this is an archive. And that's actually really nice. That's actually really nice. For some reason, autism has been a plague, and I understand. Some people are high functioning, some people are not really that functioning, and that is a huge detriment. But speaking of trash food,